And we're live.
That might have been our smoothest going live yet, actually.
I might have been cut off on half of we're live. But okay, so we're here today with Bryan Fleming. And Bryan Fleming was he was the very first YouTube member that we ever had.
That's crazy.
The first one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we've been kind of friends somewhat. We're friends on Facebook and whatnot, although you don't post that much. And if Bryan,
not really.
So Bryan, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you live?
So currently I'm living in Darwin. I've been here for 11 years now. I've been pretty much did all my trade up here, ran road trains, and currently working at a shipyard, just repairing boats, really. So yeah.
I do think it's really cool that our first subscriber drives road trains in Australia, or drove road trains in Australia. Like, that's a wild job.
Yeah. Most of the time that he's been like a member or like a friend, he's been doing the road train. So we're going to ask him a bunch of stuff about that, because kind of you're really our first. No, there was one person that Chase talked to before. Wasn't there like a road train tranny driver? Is that right?
What?
Wasn't there? Okay.
Yeah. There was one in the blue collar interviews. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Way back when.
Way back.
So yeah, you're in Australia, which I just wanted to comment on that quick, because you're in plus 30 right now. I'm minus 40 right now. There's a 70-degree difference between us. That's crazy. I'm not loving it over in Manitoba right now.
And Chase is probably going to be.
Although it's quite humid as well.
Because Chase is sick.
Chase is a little under the weather.
Feeling good, and I'm jet lagged as fuck. I just got back from China, so I got a bit of a cold. Yeah, I was in China last week.
Dude.
Yeah.
You travel a lot, man. I'm sorry, man.
Not that often, but I had to go check on one of our suppliers. We had to go meet with them and do a quality control inspection before they ship some stuff. And
it's good to be doing that kind of stuff, though, for sure.
It is, but like, God, do I hate flying. Oh, like now I'm all jet lagged. It's like fucking 3:00 in the morning body time.
That's
and it was like, and it was so nice too, because like China, you talk about weather. China was plus 21. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah. It's a little cold for me, but yeah, pretty good.
Chase's girlfriend spoiled him and upgraded their flight to first class. So
first class.
You probably got sick from laying down in your bed in the air conditioning.
Yeah, it was pretty nice on that one.
Fed drinks, nice. A 4-course meal.
I've never flown first class or anything, so that would be pretty cool. But
I've flown business class once.
Yeah, that's
it was business class.
I usually fly flare, so like you gotta duct tape your headrest up so it holds, and make sure the motors are mounted before. You gotta load your own luggage, and
honestly, they ask you to fill in for co-pilot some of the time.
Sometimes they call you up, and I'm doing the instruction with put your stuff on.
Yeah, they probably could save money if they got just the people. Like, if Flair could do it, Flair would.
They would. So. I
love Flair. It's cheap. Like, why fuck me up? I don't care. I'm like, a 1-hour flight. I don't give a fuck.
When I flew
no standing room, I would stand. I would treat it like a bus.
Edmonton to Vancouver this year, it was $97. Like, you're not beating that. Like, $97. Great. How do you beat that?
Okay. So we got Bryan here.
A flight from Darwin to Sydney.
Bryan and his car's outside. What a great podcast.
Bryan had to pull over on the side of the road on an industrial area.
Yeah. So we might as well start.
Yeah, I was hoping for less cars.
How did you how were you the first? Like, what? Take us through that.
I was just doom scrolling on YouTube through the shorts, and I remember, I think it was before Topsy was being conceived. And it was probably just after Carl, and Chase was talking about like being able to repair it and repair stuff, and how mechanics can actually design shit that bloody works. And pardon me for my language. If that's that all thing.
You're allowed to swear.
And so.
Oh no!
Yeah, awesome, sweet. Where was that? Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that really hits a tune to me. So I was like, look back at some of the other videos and all that, and I was like, oh, well, this actually fucking makes sense. Because I'd been, I usually keep my ear on the ground on new technology and stuff like that, and we had, I believe it was Janus over on the East Coast here in Australia with the hot swappable batteries and stuff like that, which I took one look at and was going like, that's not going to work for up here. But yeah, I saw that idea and I was like, what was that?
What was that?
Yeah, I saw that they were going to switch the batteries. Like, there's some major power infrastructure issues with that. Although I did see it in China. I watched a car like pull in. We went to a Chinese truck stop, which are wild. They're like really, really nice.
Is there no?
So we go to this.
Is there Chinese lot lizards? Is that a thing?
I didn't see any of those. They're probably not any of that.
Is that a thing in China?
Oh yeah, no, like, they were clean. They had robots just driving around cleaning the parking lot. Like they had like 2 robots just moving around cleaning the parking lot. But at this truck stop, they did it. They one of the cars pulled up. It pulled onto this little platform. A machine came up, grabbed the battery from under the car, slid it over, brought a new battery in there, put it in, then the car drove away. It was like 2 minutes change of battery. It was kind of neat.
So you had that in Australia. I forget. Is it? I'm gonna look up what that company is called because we've learned about them too, and it kind of. You got to run twice the amount of batteries per truck because you're charging one, swapping one. And then for like road train across the desert, like unless you're setting up like stations for battery swaps that like it's just not going to be efficient. You're going to have like 5 times the truck batteries just for one truck. Like how are you saving the environment? Or like if your goal is to better the environment, you're that's kind of counterproductive.
Yeah. Yeah, and also like we've had diesel electric like haul trucks and loaders and stuff like that for going on pretty long time. Like I think an old family friend of mine, he ran diesel electric dump trucks at a coal mine back in I think the 80s or 90s. Like I was like, when are they coming to on-road stuff? And yeah, you guys popped up, and I was like, yeah. That's a guy.
So that's how you found us, and like we want to learn. Obviously, you're like our number one source to learn about road trains now. So like, how did you get into trucking, and therefore, how did you get into hauling? Maybe you should explain what a road train is for anyone that doesn't understand or doesn't know.
So a road train is pretty much a semi-truck with multiple trailers hooked up to it. So instead of just having one trailer, we'll have 2 or 3 trailers, and generally they're hooked together. They're all the same style, unless you're dealing with B doubles, which are like your Super Bs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And they're usually hooked together with what we call a converter dolly. So it's essentially 2 axles with an A-frame up the front and its own 5th wheel on top of that. And everything's hooked together. On the back of each trailer, we'll have what we call a ring feeder. So it's just a pin that we pull up, and we can literally just back into the A-frame, and the pin will automatically drop. So
as long on that in England, the ring feeder system is so much better than the pintle hitch we have.
It is.
Yeah. And you don't
really.
So yeah. When the pin locks down, there's also another pin up top, and once that's set in place, it will not open.
So then, you basically got your normal. So it's a whole bunch of trailers in a row. Up to what's the max? Like 3?
I swear I've seen 4 out there. No,
under certain. Yeah, four is pretty much the most I've seen nowadays. Generally, they're only fuel haulers and side tippers, so all your bulk, earth moving and stuff like that. So yeah, I think back in the day, I've seen photos of 5 or 6 trailers. And then if you go onto the mine sites, you're looking at, I think where I used to work, they used to have a body and 6. So body tipper and 6 trailers behind that with a booster engine. Yeah.
6 is pretty crazy because, like, I know we do our Super Bs here, and then, like, we can do on the number 1 highway, we can do 2 53-footers. Is it just the number 1 highway?
They're doing 3 53-footers now, eh?
I heard they were gonna try that, but like, our company's actually doing that. Like, that is road training here for sure. Like
53s. Wow.
Yeah, we do 2 53s here, but it's just like it's just RTAC highways, like just number 1, number 2.
Yeah.
Like double lane.
I think they're empty as well.
No,
yeah. Okay.
No, they're allowed to be loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know how it's in the mountains, so it changes.
Pretty flat though.
Province. Like I know, like, there's a run from like Calgary to Winnipeg that's like they're loaded constantly back and forth full.
There's only a few. Here's a picture of a.
That's
grocery.
them running 3 53-footers.
Yeah. Right.
But
Canada does have up to 3 trains.
Canada started into road trains, but like I know when they were doing that. I don't know about these guys, but the last time they did a test run, I knew a driver who did the test run with them, and they had a designated yard you pull out of, and you can only go to the other yard. Like, it was yard to yard. Get on the highway and turn off once.
You got to go from a staging area to a staging area.
Yeah,
it's got to be big time.
Yeah.
There's no way that you're pulling 3 fully loaded trailers. There's got to be a weight restriction.
Well, you can't even turn that like a set of lights. Like, you're just on the highway to the next. Like, that's it. So
yeah. Well.
How much is the weight restriction in Australia then?
Yeah, for you. It says how much. Here it is. How much weight do you gross when you're doing that, Brian? And do you know the weight?
Gross. Okay, so I do know that a lot of the road trains on road, they're generally spec'd out to 125 ton, so 125,000 kgs. I'm not too sure what that is in pounds.
We just use kgs. So how many?
Yeah,
kgs?
125. So that's just under double what we pulled. We do 63.5.
Yeah. So with a single trailer, that's pretty a lot. And then I think payload per trailer, we can put about 24 ton per trailer, not including the weight of the trailer, obviously.
kg,
and then each of those.
a lot of weight though going down the road, that's for sure. So that's northern Alberta weight.
Oh yeah, a lot of wrong mass.
So what? Walk me through this. You went and got your driver's license, and then you're like, I'm gonna go haul road trains. What was the process?
Yeah, so I did a road trip up here back in 2012 with my brother, and I started seeing road trains as we were coming west through Queensland, and generally each sort of different areas of the country, you're sort of limited to how big of a combination you can do. They get bigger as you go west, obviously, and you won't see them going over the mountains. And so, I started seeing them show up, and I was like, I'd like to drive one of those one day, because it's just like huge.
Oh, I love so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to learn about road trains a lot more. Like, we've got a lot of investors from Australia, and a lot of trucking companies that really want to bring our trucks to Australia. They kind of figured that, like, they're seeing a lot of the same trends from what I've heard of the US. Trucks are just getting a little bit lighter. Like, people aren't building the heavy haul trucks anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Do you guys do you find over there?
Electric makes third.
You guys, so what? You guys got those badass Kenworths that are like
those like big 90s or whatever they're called.
C509s.
We've got the C509s. Out on the mine site, we've got the C510s, which are the off-highway version. Generally, I think about 80% of the Kenworths up here are T909s. So our letter designation is a little bit different, but yeah, ours are a T model. So T909, I believe it was. I don't think they've gone any higher than that just yet. But then you've also got the K model, which is your cab over. So you got, I believe they've just come out with the K220, which is a little bit more aerodynamic than the last one, but still pretty boxy. Yeah, so that's a, so that would be it's either a C509 or a T909.
T909. That's
okay, yeah, that'd be a T909. They look pretty similar, but the C509's just got.
Are you guys finding that? Are they still making those trucks for you guys, or are you just refurbishing old ones?
No, that'd be brand new.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so we've got a factory down in, I believe it's down in Victoria somewhere, and that's the Kenworth factory down there, and they pretty much spec those trucks out for purely our conditions, which I'm pretty proud of. Like, they do a really damn good job. I'm quite a Kenworth fan myself. I've driven Max. I've driven Western Stars. I'm pretty sure the Western Stars still come from you guys over in Canada. They get imported. But Mexico, the Max and the Kenworths, Mexico. Okay. Yeah, and we're still getting the 6900, but not the XD.
Yeah.
We just threw up an image of a 509 there for people to see. But that's pretty, pretty much Australia is the only place left that Kenworth is making good trucks.
There's the C510.
Like heavy trucks.
Australia is. But
that's...
See, that's a road train right there. That picture.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's what I used to drive. But I had a slightly smaller trailers because that one will have, if you notice on the third trailer, looks like it's got a second motor. So it'll have a second motor, gearbox, and drive axles back there.
How does that work? That's crazy. How does that work?
So it's got like a small box. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple guys over from Australia. They came to visit our shop there. That was the reason why they wanted to look at the hybrid, because they need the extra pushing power. So rather than putting a middle motor in, you just run electric axles on the trailer and run a high voltage line back.
Yeah.
So you could have that distributed power without needing the extra motor.
It is funny. A few times we've talked about like how many horsepower we're putting out. Some of the people are like, "Oh, like, do you really need that much horsepower?" And it's like, some people actually do need that much horsepower. Like,
there's literally people do.
Yeah.
Oh, do you see the new axles? They upgraded the motors on the axles in China. That's one of the cool updates.
I didn't see that.
So now instead of 1,500, we're going to be pushing out 1,800 horsepower.
1,800 horsepower. See, we need that. You need 1,800 horsepower.
I feel like you need 1,800 horse.
Better to go high.
Just as long as you don't break traction.
The MCUs located in the axles now. It's a much better setup that it reduced a lot. Instead of having 2 6 batteries, we've been able to go down to 2 batteries. So 2 slightly bigger batteries is going to be the next big change.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It's back to LFP.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, no. So because I think even on the MCon, we're going to delete the back 2 batteries under the sleeper. It's like we found out in our testing with the undisclosed that we just don't need the 6 batteries. So we're going to drop the trucks down to 4 batteries for the ones we got, and in the future it's just going to be those 2 batteries stacked on top of each other for to make 2 batteries, just to reduce some of the wiring complexity. And on top of that, they've increased the C rating on the batteries, which means we can discharge at a lot higher battery capacity. Back from LFP. LMO to LFP, but they now have like 10C rated LFPs, which are a little bit safer, but we still got the capacity, and that's going to be some cool updates. I think the Tolkol login truck is going to be the first one to get those.
That's really cool because I like how people always bring up like, oh, all that battery weight, you're so heavy, all that battery weight. It's like, actually, we can get rid of a couple batteries.
Yeah,
like,
now we'll be lighter. Now we'll the BDE cab is getting a redesign to take like 1,000 pounds out of the cab. Once we do the redesign, we'll be heavier. With the 2 battery system versus 6 batteries, we'll be the same weight even with a heavier cab. So,
and that's kind of what we did. We didn't want to be under power demand, so we overspec everything, with giving us room to downsize rather than be like, oh, we need more. It's easier to be like, oh, we don't need as much. What can we remove?
Yeah, you don't want the first trucks to suck because the batteries are too small, but we're gonna try it with 2 here going forward, and it should free up a lot of space. And because like on that MCon truck, oh my god, we're just waiting for them to put all their like snowplow rigging on it, but there's no room with those 6 batteries, plus every battery has the cables between it. Now it's all going to be integrated, so now like the BMS, instead of being a separate box, is now integrated into the battery pack. So it's kind of a cool, huge design upgrade as things improve here.
Always learning over it.
Always learning.
That's really cool.
Okay, let's get back to some of these questions.
Definitely less to go wrong, which is good.
So you wanted to get road trains, and then you just like applied at a company, and they're like, "Okay, go for it," or do you need special licensing, or what?
No, you got different. So I've actually had a look at your sort of licensing, how that works, and ours is a lot different. So we've got, I think, 5. Yeah, we've got 5 different truck licenses. So we've got your car license, which goes up to a 3-ton truck, so like a little like delivery truck, and then from 3-ton to 12.5, I believe. So any small truck that uses like normal hydraulic brakes, that's your light rigid. And then from there up, with only 2 axles, you got medium rigid, which use air brakes. So that's a separate step there. And then 3 or more axles. So some trucks up here, I've seen a concrete pump with like 7 axles under it. So anything, as long as it's a rigid vehicle, you've got heavy rigid, and that allows you to tow a trailer, I believe, up to 8 ton. So like a small tag trailer or something like that. And then after that, you've got HC, which is heavy combination, which is your semi trucks, truck and dogs. So a truck and dog is pretty much a body tipper and the same size tipper as a trailer behind that. And then you've got multi-combination. So multi-combination is your road train license. It is the be-all, end-all. That's the highest you can go. And then you also need that for stuff like heavy haulage, where you're running a gooseneck dolly, or I believe you guys call it a Jeep, which is a bit odd. I'm used to calling Jeeps cars.
It is
anything
where that came from, and it makes no sense.
You say to someone like, "I had a Jeep on," like they don't know what you're talking about. It's like, you had another car with you, like.
It's like,
I really hope someone can explain where that comes from.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Chase pulled up the.
And
I'm not doing great, so I'm mainly just doing the research on the back end here.
Nice. No, and I like the way it's set up in Australia. Like,
so
Manitoba should be the way we are, not like Canada. Like, it's like, okay, you can drive your 1-ton trucks, and then you get a class 3. You can drive like combinations, and you can drive tandems with trailers, and then you get your class 1, and you can drive whatever the heck they throw at you. And then you get a lot of drivers who enter a new job, and then they're throwing double vans around, and it's just
enter a new country and then enter a new job.
Yeah, and they're just
like, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be able to come in from a country that does not have snow, move to Canada, get a class 1 license with a 1-2 week course, and then go pull a set of B doubles through the mountains in the wintertime, never having seen snow before. It is an insane process.
It's a month now, but I put that on them. What employer is sending out someone who's never driven in snow?
It used to not be a thing, and like it used to be like I remember like when my dad first started trucking, like you needed a year or two of experience before you were allowed to do the mountain trips. And then now, like I know a lot of companies are sending out a lot of fresh drivers because the company owners don't care about the liability.
They don't care. They've insured the drivers. The drivers are a dime a dozen because they import them from a country where wages are cheap. They come in with a temporary foreign worker permit because they say they can't find drivers, so they need to import. They can't. The only reason they can't find drivers is because they're not paying a wage good enough to hire a driver. So they go and they outsource to a country like India, and then they bring them in for a 2-year work permit. They treat them as literal slaves. The United Nations has literally condemned it as a form of slavery in Canada. Really? Amnesty International said that, the UN and Amnesty International says that our temporary foreign worker program for this is a form of slavery because you lock them in a truck. If they quit, they have to be deported. So you can tell them to do whatever you want them to do. Give that guy that's never driven in snow 63 tons and let him rip through the mountain. If he crashes, we'll bring another guy in and insurance writes off the truck. Who cares about the family?
I don't blame the driver either. Because
we don't blame the driver.
Place where quality of life wasn't as good, and
no, it's not the driver. It's a fucking shitty company owner.
It's the companies, and
trying to make as much profit as he can, and he puts everybody else at risk.
We're not attacking the drivers. They're putting those positions, and then they do it. And like you say, they come here. Hey, you have to drive that, or you're going back. Well, they're going to drive that, and they're not qualified.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable driving in the storm. Well, you do it, or you get deported.
Yeah.
And then they end up wiping out, or they drive slow, and then the problem is they're treated like literal slaves for 2 years. After 2 years, they get their permanent residency, and then they can work anywhere in Canada, and they tend to leave the industry because the industry treats them shitty. But then you have this repeat cycle of people that only ever have 2 years experience driving on the highway. Like it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got something kind of like that over in the East Coast. We've got a lot of Indian drivers over there, but they generally stay driving for a bit longer and they're treated definitely a lot better. But our trouble is that they've already driven trucks over in India, so they come over here and they're not used to a completely. We're more regulated than they are. So they're not used to all that regulation and stuff like that. So they break a lot of rules and stuff like that.
At least India, Australia, both drive on the left-hand side of the road. Like you guys have similar driving. And
that is true, yes.
Neither one of them have like snow. India and Australia tend to not see much. There is snow in India up in the northern parts, but in general, there's not a lot of snow.
And we do, yeah.
So like you get
we do get snow as well, but only in.
But like also you're like in Australia, it's more like almost like an apprenticeship. Like you can't go from zero to the top. You have to spend time in each class, don't you?
Yes. Right.
Yeah, and there was have a question.
Pretty much. Yep.
Here it is. Taz says licensing for weight and complexity makes a lot more sense than what we do in North America.
Mm-hmm. And like so if you had to start, and I always thought it should be more like apprenticeship in Canada. Like when you're 16, 17, you're interested in driving, get that guy on a 1-ton truck. 6 months after, give him a trailer. Year after trailer driving, okay, he's 18 now. He can get into like driving a 1-ton with a 35-foot gooseneck. That's fine. Then just move up from there after a year or so of driving. Like you just need to keep in that position.
So that kind of puts me on where I was going with you, Bryan, is so then how did you get your job driving road trains? You're like, I want to do that. And you're like, I'm going to work my way up every fucking step just so I can drive those cool trucks. Like I could see Chase doing that.
100%.
So yeah, light rigid and medium rigid is it's optional. So if you wanted to, you can go straight from a car license to a heavy rigid truck, but you cannot go straight to a semi truck. You've got to at least spend a year on your HR, and then you can upgrade straight to an MC, or you can, if you're on your medium rigid, you spend a year on that, you can go to your HC straight away. There is still that step that you have to go past to be able to drive those the bigger trucks. And then also, a lot of companies won't hire someone that hasn't had at least like B double experience or double road train experience before they get you on triples.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah,
you should work
it's kind of like and it's sometimes hard, especially when you're trying to work your way up in Darwin, because generally most companies only run triples, so you will rarely see someone run a B double or a double road train here. They are around, but they're not common enough to progress through that.
So you just gave the right guy a handy and you got the job, or what?
Whoa.
No, not quite like that. Usually some people just lie through their teeth and say, yeah, she'll be right. And then,
no, I mean,
and then come unstuck.
How did you get
which is not really a good thing to do.
I got my first.
I just worked my ass off, really, and made it clear that, I worked my ass off, and I made it very clear that, look, I've got this.
We got lag going on. So people are
we got some lag, but first time I was ever driving, I was like 16, 17, still had my like N, and they're like, you've driven a semi truck before, right? Like you can drive like a 10 speed, and it was like this little single axle snowplow. I'm like, oh yeah, I can drive a 10 speed. It's fine. Like I drove a pickup truck. How hard could it be? I'm like, yeah, I can drive. I've driven 10 speed before. Fucking out on the highway in the middle of winter trying to plow snow.
You learn fast.
I do not recommend that. But
that's the best way to learn if you know what you're doing, though.
No, I realize how terrible of an idea that is. Like, oh, we should do training because I was not safe that winter.
I was loving it.
But can you imagine if that was a single axle little Western Star? Now I can only imagine if I had that lack of experience, but it was with a set of B trains in the wintertime. Then like now that's why I've been advocating for like more like working your way up through the steps.
Yeah,
Chase knows because he did that.
I hate it's weird because I'm all about anti-government overreach, but on like certain issues I'm like, no, like we should have more rules. We should do it the proper way. Like there's some things that I totally agree with going a little bit harder on, and driving a massive death machine down the highway is one of the biggest ones. Like you got a lot of power in your hands.
Yeah,
you can cause a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, and then there's also licensing restriction. So if you get your HR, so HR is probably the first ones that use crash boxes or road rangers, so if you don't get your heavy rigid license testing done with a road ranger gearbox, you're restricted to a non-synchro gearbox, which is like a car gearbox, or even an automatic. So that's one big thing as well.
Do we do that as well?
Yeah, to get that
automatic, just automatic to standard, isn't it? If you take your license, you test in an automatic, you only can drive an automatic.
I've heard that now.
That's the way it is here.
Yeah,
it never used to be.
Mm.
They started
when I started driving, there really weren't automatics. They were kind of unheard of. I got to point out that we got a guy in the comments. I assume he is from Australia because his name is Farmland Vegemite Sandwich, and he's done it too. He's done it too. He's got some pretty cool comments if you guys check those out, and insight on the road train. So I guess we have two of them here now.
Yeah. Bryan, are we killing you over there? Like you can't crack your window, but I feel you're pretty bad for you. Pretty hot in there, aren't you?
I'm doing all right.
For those,
I just got a tally, so I'll be.
Bryan is pulled over on the side of the road in an industrial area with cars going by, and before the show, we're kind of giving him shit for the car noise. So he's
and the wind coming in,
So he's sitting in a car, not running, without air conditioning at 30 degrees in Australia, sweating his balls off.
Yeah.
So I guess let's try and speed this up a bit.
If it was a dog, we'd be.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I got it. So, that's a different guy. I thought that. I'm a heavy duty mechanic. I had to get my MC license so we can move the B doubles around and test them at work. I spent a total less than 40 hours driving a truck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess to be able to move them.
Yeah, okay, that's a pretty common thing too.
Let's get into it. So you got your license. What was your first load like when you went and did it or pulled road trains? Like, is there anything that stood out? You're like, this is a whole other different world, or
that first corner you took with 3 trailers.
Yeah, for the most part, it was like driving forward. It was pretty well the same as just a normal semi. But as soon as you look in those mirrors with that third trailer on, it likes to sway a little bit. And yeah, taking those corners, yeah, you just got to square off your corners as much as you can. You just go all the way out and then turn really sharp. Yeah.
Use as much as the road
that basically gets you enough room. Yeah, take up as much as that intersection as you can. Make sure those trailers will clear. Yeah, it generally the cut in between the first trailer axles and the third trailers, I think a friend of mine said it was about 1.5 meters. So from where your first trailer leaves your intersection, that back trailer will go over 1.5 meters. So yeah, and then obviously with your beat, yeah,
it tracks pretty okay then.
Yeah,
they got like some
generally with the dolly setups. Yeah, so the dollies, pretty much because they pivot on themselves, they sort of steer as well. But if you're running like B doubles or B triples, they will cut in a lot worse. So yeah, it's probably only like a 0.5 meter more with a normal triple road train. But once you've got your fourth trailer on, yeah, it'll cut in a lot more.
Yeah.
And then we've got, I forgot to mention, we've also got the super quads, which generally are only side tippers. And they run, instead of a converter dolly with a ring feeder and a fifth wheel, they'll run like a specialized gooseneck dolly on each trailer. And so that way they can run 4 full-size trailers and yeah, they'll still be able to maneuver quite well, actually. I've heard of some being able to go around roundabouts, no worries. Pretty large roundabouts, but yeah, I'm not sure if you've got those over there.
We do have roundabouts. I was actually thinking of an experience I had with the roundabout, but it was a 70-foot Goldhofer trailer, and I don't know if you guys know the Goldhofer trailer, but they steer like the rear dollies do steer. So it actually turned tighter, like a 70-foot trailer is turning tighter than a 40-foot step deck because that front tire is turning, it's just swinging that ass end way out. So you actually could turn fairly tight with them. But you had to watch out for that swing. It was coming around.
I wish we had more roundabouts. They're pretty rare.
Yeah.
Roundabouts are pretty sweet.
Yeah, roundabouts are actually pretty good when you get used to them.
Yeah. No, we have
it's shitty. We don't have many because people aren't familiar with them, so they don't like them. So we don't build them, so we don't have them. So people aren't comfortable with them. So like it's a vicious circle.
We have a surprising amount in Manitoba. I guess we got into it more, maybe. I don't know. Like we do have quite a few here, I'd say. Like every city's got, a dozen roundabouts in it, it seems.
It's nice because they're all just yields. And I know a guy who refuses to stop at stop signs. And if we just had roundabouts, I wasn't going to throw him under the bus.
But have you guys seen that it's a guy?
So, we don't.
Oh, sorry. There's a guy in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and he got like an Oshkosh. It's called an Oshkosh, I think, and it's a 6x6-wheel drive.
Oshkosh,
yeah, Oshkosh. Okay, I don't know how to say it. Oshkosh. And he took 5 Super-B leads and hooked them together, and he like owns a bunch of land connected, and he drives that thing around. I think he does it more just for TikTok or Instagram, but it's really cool. he's pulling that thing through a field, 5 leads, just pulling them around. It's a very impressive video. I don't know how much he actually does it practically.
Yeah, I actually have seen that one.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I've actually seen that one, and it's quite impressive. I was like, oh, geez, I wouldn't mind driving that for a change. I'm pretty sure those Oshkoshes are an automatic.
That one is.
Yeah.
They are. And have you ever seen the setup on those things? They got really goofy suspension.
Like what?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I wish I knew the guy's name offhand. I'd show him out so people could go watch the video. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find the TikTok or Instagram. But just seeing 5. If I owned a bunch of land in an area, I'd be doing that 100%.
Okay. Yeah. Again, if people, the comments.
Oh, actually,
couple interesting guys. Good comments coming in about the road train. I was driving in Australia there too. Too many to throw up on the screen, but check those out. I'm going to continue on then. So explain to us what a typical, like there's different, are you working in camp all the time? Are you away? Like what is your typical work day or work week for like hours, shift work? Like what do you guys do? Conditions?
So pretty much general, most of the like general freight type stuff. So line haul between cities. It's generally you live in the truck. Oh shit! Now my phone's getting hot.
Is it too hot?
Yeah, basically you live in the truck. I'm holding it up in the sun. Have I gone off?
Air conditioning on.
Poor guy.
I'm worried that it's going to be too hot. Too much noise. Is that too much noise?
Not right now. We can.
All right, that's much better actually. I can.
Chase shared a picture here. What is this? Is that Moshka?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so then continue. Like, tell me what a workday for someone who's like doing the road trains like kind of remotely, or what you did when you were doing it.
Yeah, so when I first started driving road trains, I was doing Darwin to Broome for a handful of runs, and basically it's we load up our own trailers. Some companies don't do that. They'll load for you and have them hooked up ready to go. But we pretty much did everything all ourselves. And then we ran from here to Broome in about 2.5 days. And then another 2.5 days back.
Is there like
I'm gonna have to run here?
And
guys.
so
Chase is off. He's
all good.
Yeah.
Hope you get some sleep, buddy. Better.
Are there towns in between, or is it just like one shot?
No, we've got towns. Our closest major centre is Catherine, which is 3 hours south of us. And then you've got smaller places in between. You've got like Adelaide River, Pine Creek, and all that. They're generally smaller towns, but we don't really. You can stop at Adelaide River. Pine Creek's a little bit off the road there. But yeah, we've got places in between. I think the longest stretch I was at was between Halls Creek and Fitzroy Crossing, and that's about 500 k's between towns.
Oh, so do you have to pack your own food, or can you stop and get food?
Yeah, you can stop and get food. Generally, we've got 40-litre 12-volt fridge between the seats, so you can just eat out of that. And generally, most of your work days, we're limited to 5 hours. No, 5 hours before a break. So you do 14 hours all up.
Okay.
Sorry. Just trying to cool off. So 14 hours all up per day. You do 5 hours, then you have to take a half-hour break, and then another 5 hours, and then another half-hour break, and then the rest of your day. And then after that, you have to spend 7 hours resting, and then off you go again. And then you can do that for up to 12 days in a row.
Okay.
So you're legal. Yeah. So you have to do. You have to have 2 rest days in a 14-day period. But basically, I've gone off the WA fatigue management laws. All the other states go off NHVR, so that may vary a little bit. And their logbooks are a lot more detailed, so you have to write down where you've stopped, where you're heading to, and a lot more stuff like that. But yeah, WA is a lot laxed with their logbooks, and I don't believe Darwin, the NT, actually has strict logbook laws just yet.
Were you guys on paper logs?
So yeah, that's some companies are on electronic logs, but that's a company to company sort of basis. We're not mandated to have e-logs just yet. Yeah. And then some companies will also have cameras facing you.
Yeah. Facing you. I don't like that. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
Watching you.
Yeah. So there'll be like a little. Yeah, pretty much. We had them out at the mine site. So when I was doing mine site haulage, we did a 12 on, 12 off, which was just 12-hour days for 14 days straight. No, we did. Yeah, 12-hour days, and then we did a week on, a week of days, week of nights, and then a week off. So basically, you'd fly in on Friday, hop straight into the truck, do your tyre checks and everything, make sure it's all good to go. Straight in the truck for 7 days, and then on your shift change day, we'd stay up late, drink piss, have fun, all that, and then we'd sleep in pretty much all of the day, the next day, and then we'd hop in our trucks at 6 p.m. and then off we go again. And yeah, that was quite annoying, especially when you had a brother calling up saying, "Oh, fucking daylight saving sucks," and I'm like, "Dude, my sleep pattern's different every fucking week, so get over it."
1 hour difference compared to 12.
Yeah,
what do you like better?
It's huge.
Driving at night or in the day when you're out in the frickin' desert of Australia in summertime?
So I didn't mind the night shift, but I preferably like rather the line haul work. Because you can sort of get a little bit of both. So you get a little bit of a cool afternoon and then into the nighttime. And you're not really pushing yourself too hard, trying to struggle through that 3 a.m., 4 a.m. mark. That's usually, I usually just scrape through there and then I get my second wind and all of a sudden I'm awake again.
I can heavily relate to that.
No, I do think the hours are pretty similar there, because I think we do 13 hours here legally, but we do 10 days in a row before reset. Isn't it 10 there?
A reset? 72 hour? No. 48 hours off.
It depends on how long you're on for how long your reset has to be. I've trucked a lot, but it's usually just like for myself and locally. And our logs books change. Like if you stay within so many kilometers of your range, you don't need a logbook. But if you're going further, you need a logbook. And then if your truck's newer than the year 2000, you need an e-log, like electric logbook.
36-hour reset, I believe.
Right.
70 hours in 7 days. No, 80 hours.
Yep.
Gee, terrible truckers. Guess we haven't trucked in a while there.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been 5 years now.
4 years.
Yeah.
It's been a while since.
Yeah. So basically, when I was doing Darwin Broom, we were only taking 1 day off a week. So we'd get back on, I think, either Monday Arvo or Tuesday morning, and then we'd have either Wednesday or Thursday off. And then we'd get back into it, start loading trailers, and off we go on. And then we'd hit the road on Friday midday. And then by the end of that, at the end of Friday, we'd probably get just past Timber Creek. So that's, almost at the WA border.
It's definitely 70 and 7. So you can drive 70 hours in 7 days, which compared to a normal person, 40 hours a week, you can do 70 hours a week. And then I'm pretty sure it's 36 hours off after that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty flexible. So if you're doing even hours every day, that's a 10-hour day, but you can sort of add and subtract, can you? Or
you can, and there's 2 ways: it's 70 and 7, or there's one for a 2-week period, I believe. And as long as you get the reset off, you can move them around. Yeah. But you're allowed to drive for 13, have 2 hours off, and it depends. It's different if you're on highway or if you're logging. Highway, you can work 16-hour days, but you need a 2-hour off duty for loading or whatnot. And then I believe logging is 15-hour days, but you need 1 hour off for lunch. I'm pretty sure. I'm so happy I don't even remember that anymore.
I know, because I did forgetting it. Get rid of it from my mind
for 20 years, and fucking.
What I remember the most is like when we did the paper logs. It was like, okay, so now we're at our max hours. How can I go back and switch my kilometers and my hours and fix my last week? And then keep driving.
How can I fudge this?
I know a guy.
You did 1,500 kilometers in a day last week.
I know a guy who.
Oh man, actually.
Would have his logbooks put the 3-hole punch just in a binder. So if you needed to go back, you just take the sheet out, and it's not like in a book where you can tell a sheet was ripped out.
Yeah.
That was
ours were always separate. Yeah, I guess we were running some shady stuff because ours were always separate. You could take them mess with them.
I heard of one bloke. I heard of one bloke. He would throw his logbook out the window as soon as he saw a cop because it was less of a fine for him to be caught without a logbook than it was for them to find out how many hours he was actually doing.
That's funny.
It's not an automatic auto service if you don't have a logbook. It is if you're over hours.
No.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back into this road train stuff. You kind of said what your work week does. Kind of manage fatigue and whatever. That's a dumb question I wrote down. So what's the closest call or most dangerous situation you've ever experienced out there? Have you?
There's a couple. Some of them I'm not going to say here. Probably, just getting caught out every now and then. You've got to really keep on track of how the road is actually going to go. If you haven't traveled on a section of road, you got to take your time. Like one time I was coming down the jump up near Savannah, the Savannah mine. And so it's a pretty long uphill section, and I was coming down it, and I didn't realize it was that downhill section, and I got caught out. And I'm just trying to frantically to downshift, apply my brakes, but not too much that they burn out or anything like that. And it managed to level out about halfway down the hill, and I've managed to bleed off enough energy to try and get to a nice lower gear. But yeah, that one definitely caught me off guard. And yeah, just making sure you know what's coming up is probably the biggest lesson I've learned out of that.
So that's like a runaway. You have a runaway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, like I definitely should have been in a much lower gear.
Like when I'm thinking of like Australia, I'm like looking at like a flat.
I'm picturing flat ground. Yeah, there's hills over there.
So like, did that hill have?
Yeah, we've got.
Did it have corners on it, or if you like, would you just be able to just roll it out?
So there were quite a few sweeping bends and stuff like that. Nothing quite as steep and quite as sharp as over in Canada, but just definitely enough to almost shit your pants in a road train, that's for sure. And I think I was, and I think I was definitely grossing over 100 ton on that one.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, we have like the mountains where you got some runaway, like where I am in Manitoba. We do have some big hills and valleys, but the biggest ones are you could run away on them, but it's a straightaway. So it's like, worst case scenario, you're just going too fast. Like,
yeah. Well, this hill, if it is so steep that it's steep enough that if you're not in the right gear, you've got to slam it into bog cog straight away, or else you're going to be stalled on the hill. That's right. Yeah, bog cog is low gear. You got to just slam it in there and just hold it, or else, as soon as you stop, you've got to like call up someone else to help you push up that hill because
oh shit.
So you got some slopes there.
Yeah, like are you on? Is it like I'm envisioning like a dirt dusty road? You're not on like asphalt.
No, bitumen. Yeah, all sealed.
Bitumen?
Yeah.
Bitumen is Australian for pavement.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure about the difference between asphalt and bitumen, but yeah, it's a sealed road. It's black.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. A lot of videos that you see, with Outback Truckers and stuff I'm not too sure if you get the TV show Outback Truckers over there, but yeah, they're generally going on proper Outback roads, super remote. Whereas I've mainly only been on proper highways.
Okay.
So we do have sealed roads all throughout Australia.
I was mistaken. That was not what I was envisioning. I'm learning things.
I was just cruising the dirt roads constantly.
Is there like a particular stretch of road around there or region that you like have the most respect for? That's like the most dangerous.
In my limited experience, definitely the Kimberleys, which is probably the most experience that I've gotten, sweeping bends and all that. Definitely between Catherine and the WA border. So west of Catherine there is, on the Vic Highway, is probably some of the gnarliest roads. We've got West Baines Creek, and east. What's the other one?
Like what makes
Snake Creek?
What makes them challenging or respectful? Is it's like the steepness, the corners,
sweeping bends? Yeah, pretty much all of that, and then also the two creeks that Snake Creek and West Baines. They're all on black soil, so they do get worn down a bit. So they get quite bumpy. So you got to slow right down for those.
Yeah. Farmland Vegetable says bitumen is spray tarred with blue metal stone sprinkled on top, and asphalt is laid with asphalt paint.
No way.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
There we go. Let's get Jordan. You want to pick off a couple of those questions or what?
Well, no, I was just doing my good old lame blue collar interviews one. The lightest load you've ever hauled while being a truck driver.
I think the good old Tonka truck, really. That's
you've done that.
Done that. Just put the strap over it. Fucking there was also that one time I had to transport just a cardboard box, just a small parcel down the road. Yeah, that would have been the lightest load.
Mike Maxwell says, how do high winds affect you guys when you're doing road trades?
They do. They do affect us quite a lot. Generally, in a crosswind, you'll have to slow right down. Definitely 80 at least.
Yeah,
and you do see that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Go for it, Jordan.
We were saying we were hauling grain today, and my old man took a load out, and it was 60K wind, so like really, really big wind gusts. And yeah, he was 80, 75, cruising through the prairies today, so it was not a fun day for him. And that was with an 18 speed.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that tractor is. It's got good power. Like I'm always hauling loaded Super Bs with it, no problem, 110. But it was having a hard time today. So
yeah,
I guess I'll jump across. I'll jump across here. One that would be nice to have Chase here for, because he's more of the truck nerd guy. If you could design a dream spec Outback hauler for a company, what would you be looking for?
if you don't say an Edison truck, you might as well log off. I'm just kidding. Design whatever you want. Design whatever you
something with a big ass fucking radiator, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, Edison's definitely the guy. Yeah, something with a big radiator, a decent sized cab. I don't mind the narrow cabs. Like I said, I'm a bit of a Kenworth fan, and Kenworths in Australia still have the narrow cabs. Something with a 50 or 60-inch bunk with the aerodyne, so you can stand up in there. Fridge, yeah, something probably either a microwave or maybe an air fryer. One time I did try running an air fryer, but the inverter wasn't powerful enough. Depending on where I'm going. So if you're doing all around Australia, you're limited to a twin drive. But if you're only doing NT and WA, you can get away with a tri-drive. It really depends on what industry you're in. A lot of the bulk haulage, side tippers and stuff like that, all of earthworks, they generally run tri-drives. And so do the fuel haulers. Yeah, so fuel tankers. But yeah, for a good all-rounder, probably, yeah, twin axles, probably new way suspension. I do like the single airbag or two airbags per axle. I've dealt with the Kenworth 8-bag setups. They are just way too stiff for what they are. I'd like, if I did choose between an 8-bag Kenworth rear suspension or a 6-rod, so leaf springs, I'd go with leaf springs, hands down. They're just way more smoother than what Kenworth brought out. But yeah, generally I think what Joel has on his truck is probably the go for that rear suspension.
Joel
and
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much that rear suspension. I've worked with that before, and it is really great. The only downside is it's not like some of the Volvos where you can actually jack that suspension up. It's usually you're either stuck at your ride height or you can dump your air out. But yeah, just having that adjustability like the Volvos do is really handy. And then, yeah, generally we've got leaf springs in the front. We don't run airbags. And then in the C5s, we run slipper springs. So there's no shackle on the front. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I wish Chase was here for that.
Yeah. Oh, and obviously, yeah, and obviously a decent bull bar. Like you need one of them road train bull bars on the front, either a 4-poster or a 5-poster. We do get a lot of stray animals. Probably the largest I've hit is a cow. At least 400 kilos worth of cow.
Have you ever hit a dingo or a kangaroo?
No. I have hit it. No, I've hit a wallaby. So they're a smaller kangaroo. They're like a kangaroo but smaller. Out on the mines, someone did hit a dingo on the night shift, and I think another bloke hit a camel.
A camel?
So yeah,
Australia.
What?
Yeah, so it's out in the Tanami, so middle of nowhere between Alice Springs and Halls Creek. Yeah, we've got camels.
wow.
I didn't even. I
Yep,
feel like
I didn't know
I'm
that.
educated idiot.
Yeah,
I did not know they had camels in Australia.
that's crazy.
Yeah, we've also got deer over in the eastern states.
It is funny to think though, like over here saying camels, kangaroos, like that's crazy to me that you guys have that. But if you guys seen a moose over in Australia, you'd be like, "What the hell is that?" Like moose or an elk, like
Yeah, nah.
Bigger than a horse. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, if you could tell if a young driver told you they wanted to move to Australia to run road trains, or they were already living in Australia, what honest advice would you give them before they signed up?
That's a tricky one. It depends on what they want to really do. If they want to continually learn, road trains do have a bit of a glass ceiling to them. So once you've gotten there, there's not much to it. It's like there's different scenery you can experience, but yeah, there is a limit to how much you want to learn, how much you can learn in it, which is why I'm currently not driving road trains. And then once you're there, a lot of companies that do run road trains will generally have you just running road trains the whole time. So yeah, it is what you make of it, and but yeah, be careful, and don't always listen to the older truck drivers. So you've still got blokes that are in their 60s, 70s still driving it. Take on their advice, and learn from it. Some of that advice can be like, take your time and make sure, always double check everything, your tires, your fifth wheel, your ring feeder, the whole lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're never gonna be like, fuck, I checked too many times.
I checked too many things on my previous.
Like, I should have checked.
Yeah. That comment there from Land Vegemite, whatever the heck his name is. He mentioned something about in Canada we call it a cow catcher, cow guard. I have heard that, but I mentioned moose earlier. I've always called them moose bumpers. Around here in Manitoba, we call them moose bumpers. I don't know what you call them in BC, Theron.
Probably, I guess both. Cow catcher is pretty common.
Okay,
we don't call them a cattle guard. Yeah. Cattle guard is a thing on the road that is bars that keep
that's that
crossing the fence.
I've heard cow catcher, but again,
so we
call moose bumpers here. But
I get moose bumper is also as common. Wiley had a good one. How often do you have to back up a road train?
Only when you're hooking up, mate.
Okay.
Generally, like all of our rest areas and parking bays and stuff like that, they're catered for drive in, drive out. We rarely have to back up. There's probably a handful of instances that you do have to back up, but generally, if you're clued on enough, you shouldn't have to. Although out of the mines, they did have a spot where you kind of had to back up probably one trailer length, but those trucks were sort of set up a little bit differently. So they didn't have ring feeders or fifth wheels. They were all solid hitches. And so they didn't really deviate quite as badly. But yeah, if you can help it, we rarely ever back up.
Yeah, it's probably hard to. There's too many pivot points there to be going in reverse. So,
have you ever seen anyone get trying to back up?
No, not in real life. I've seen quite a few videos, but yeah.
Oh man, hauling logs with a quad trailer or even B trains, like you got to back up sometimes. Sometimes you got to back up fucking kilometers. And we've definitely, I've been in pinches, although I am pretty good at backing up multiple trailers, but I've definitely seen some shitty things. A big one is just spinning out on a hill and having to back down the hill.
That's the biggest one because you only have one shot.
Yeah,
if you get snaked on that hill, you're not going forward again. Like I actually had to do that today. I was loading my old man up with grain, and he doesn't run Super Bs. Like he trucked a bit, but he's a project manager. He's sitting in the 1-ton truck telling people what to do. So he's not the best with the Super Bs, and he got stuck on our little hill in our yard. It's not a bit, but enough that I'm like, you could mess this up quick, so you get out of there. I'm gonna hop in there and make sure we get down this hill because you only got one shot.
Yeah, your trailer starts going the wrong way. You can't catch it. I'm
on ice. Oh, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go forward. Like we have tractors in that yard. We're not pulling 120,000 pounds with a tractor on ice right now. It's not happening.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I could back up a B double, no worries. It's with those 2 pivot points, it's manageable. But when you're dealing with a dolly in between, so the dolly has a much shorter drawbar and sort of pivot compared to the trailer itself. So those dollies like to kick out really quickly. So yeah, once they kick out, you've bent your A-frame and that's it. That's all over Red Rover. So yeah.
The hardest thing I've had to back up is back to that Goldhofer trailer because they're not meant to be backed up like your pintle hitch to a big bar that controls your trailer steering, and that thing's a nightmare to back up. But like again, they're not designed to be backed up, and I'll try to figure it out. So save some time.
Yeah.
Okay, I had some Australian related questions. You live in Darwin, Northern Australia.
Yep.
Are there sea crocs there?
We've got crocodiles in any body of water. We've got saltwaters in freshwater. We've got freshwater crocs in saltwater. They're everywhere.
Do you swim in water?
Do you swim in water?
Like, do you go swimming? Do people go in the ocean there?
I can swim in the ocean. No, hell no. No, you don't swim at the beaches. We do have a secluded rocked off lagoon in the city that we can swim at. So only in designated swimming areas. We do have a few waterfalls over at Litchfield, which is a little bit out of town, which we're allowed to swim at. But generally, I do not swim at any of the beaches. I've heard of some dogs getting I've heard of some dogs getting napped off gunpoint, and no, I'm not risking that.
Okay. Is it illegal to go swimming, or people just are conscious of their lives? You said there are designated.
No, so it's not illegal, but we do have a strong policy of being croc-wise, and generally, to be safe around crocs is just to not be in their area.
There's a clip of an Australian politician. He's talking about gay marriage, and he's like, let all blossoms bloom. I love it. And then he starts going, but these crocodiles are tearing dogs up in water. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
It's so funny. He just 0 to 60. All love is love. Let it bloom. Blah blah. But these crocodiles. It's so funny. The old guy.
Is that the politician with a cowboy hat?
That guy. So funny.
Yeah. That's Bob Catter.
Bob Catter. Whatever.
Yeah, Bob Catter.
Yeah. Or whatever he says,
he's quite a character.
So do people not go swimming just for the crocs, or is it is there a whole bunch of reasons you're not going in the water? I would think maybe great white sharks. Wile E. Coyote says jellyfish are nasty in Australia. Is it just
we got so about 80% of it's the crocodiles up here. Down south you do have great white sharks and stuff like that, but up here it's generally the crocodiles. We do have jellyfish to worry about up here as well. But generally because of the point of crocodiles, tend not to risk any of that. So
Man, that is wild. Like we live in Canada, people are like, oh, the grizzly bears and the wolves, and we're like, you can walk through the woods, and most of the time you see a grizzly bear, and you're like, hey, bear, and the bear runs away. Crocodile, you're like I'm way more scared of Australia than I am in the backcountry in Canada.
Yeah, but also I've got a friend who lives here, and he spent some time over even around your area, and he's heard of people getting nabbed off the hiking trails with like was it mountain lions and stuff like that, and that's crazy on itself. It's
it's pretty rare, but
mountain lions is rare. But I think there's been like maybe 5 or 6 grizzly bears attacks already this late season. But
yeah, we don't get that.
Yeah, and people generally, you're not going to live through that. And grizzly bears kill you, and then they bury you, and then they come back and eat you when you're rotting.
My thing with Australia, I the poison stuff, because it's like in Canada, like well, you know, you can fight something off or scare it, like you say, but it's like if you get something poisonous touches you, you're done. Like, isn't there a ton of poisonous shit out there that'll kill you?
Yeah, but they're not as common as you think. Pretty much about 90% of the spiders that I've come across are very harmless, like huntsmans and daddy longlegs. Probably, I've only ever seen maybe one redback spider and maybe one whitetail. Whitetails are really bad. But generally, you can see them before they all attack you. And same thing with snakes. Snakes do hide. I haven't really seen any super dangerous snakes in person.
When you say 90% of the spiders are harmless, what I'm hearing is 10% of the spiders will fucking get you.
0%.
No. 90% of the ones I've seen. So they're not as common, but there are more variations of them.
We have black widows, I guess, and brown recluse, but they're like, you can live with black widows in your house and you're okay. And like, like maybe it'd kill a baby, but who really likes babies anyway?
I think I ate my baby.
Okay, so you answered the question. You do not swim in the ocean. What is the biggest spider you've ever seen?
Probably a huntsman. It was about 6 inches across.
Oh,
from side to side.
Yeah.
Like, do you find that in your house?
Yep. Yeah, it was in the bathroom the other day.
That's gross.
Next time, take a picture.
I was like, "Hey, how you going?" I will do.
Did it bark or something? Did it talk back?
Did it talk back?
No, it just sat there. I was like, "Hey, mate, you gotta go."
The biggest I think I've seen in my house is like at the size of a this bottle cap. Like, they're not getting big over here. At least where I am, I'm not seeing a lot of spiders.
Yeah. Generally, the more dangerous spiders are a lot smaller. So they're usually like the size of a maybe a $1 coin or something like that.
What a good way
there was that one.
I was going to compare ours to a loonie, which is what we call our dollar coins. But I was like, he's not going to know what a loonie is. I just used the bottle cap.
Yeah, so I'd sort of presume that our $1 coin might be about the same size as yours. So let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot smaller. And that's probably why you don't see them as often, because they're easier to hide.
So, do you know anyone who's died from a spider or a crocodile?
No.
Or did you know?
No, I have not.
Can't be that bad.
No, not personally. You do hear in the NT news that, Joe Blow was being stupid and swimming in Daly River or something like that and got eaten by a crocodile. But really, I've never really personally known anyone that has. It's pretty much just down to common sense.
So,
sorry, go Jordan.
I was just going to tell Brian, so I was out today after all my mess around with the grain and stuff. I wanted to throw my ice shack out, which I don't know. I don't think you got these in Australia, Brian, but we like to go fishing out on the icy lakes. So I took my truck out to pull my ice shack out on the lake, and The confidence is a little different because like about 8 inches of ice, you can drive your truck on. You got to be going slow, but like that's the limit, like the lowest or the least amount of thickness. You want to go higher than that. So it's 8 to 10 inches today. And I was the first guy to put a shack out on that lake. And that was the scarier part because I've seen guys out, earlier. And it's like, okay, he went out. It's not too bad. But like I went out on that day and it's like, okay, so some guy might hop in a river and get eaten by a crocodile. That seems pretty dumb. What an idiot. And I'm like, well, I was also on a lake today with my 1-ton truck. And that was pretty stupid too.
It is funny.
Yeah.
Near the end of the season, when people are trying to retrieve their shacks, we don't get ice fishing shacks so much in BC or around anywhere I've lived anyway. But people like have these elaborate like trailers. So you pull them out, they got holes in the floor. You got fucking beds. You got maybe a TV in it. Yeah. And then they go get them and the pickups fall from ice all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't happen much here because like we have so much ice usually at the end of the season. Like there's it'll be plus 10 out and there's still 3 feet of ice at spots. Like it's very thick over here. It's a little early season for me.
So you don't know anyone who's died from a croc or a spider, but like how many people do you know? Like how common is it that someone like a tourist gets at least like badly mauled or something from a drop bear? Did we lose Bryan? That was the most important thing.
I'm sorry.
That's the only thing you want to know.
Yeah. Like how common are drop bear attacks?
Probably 3 or 4 times a year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what I'd be the most scared of. No, crocs for sure. I'm pretty scared of everything. I'm not going to Australia. Fuck that. But if you guys haven't seen a drop bear, just look up.
Aren't you coming in?
Go for it.
Yeah, aren't you coming in March?
Yeah.
You're going to Australia?
Yeah.
We are talking about it. I'm not going swimming. I'll tell you that. We got such a following over there, and that's like when we do expand internationally, Australia will be first on the list. It makes sense. We want to get Edison trucks out pulling road trains, and we have a lot of investors over there, so we're probably going to reach out to some investors here soon, see if anyone will host us. And there's a bunch of good truck shows that go over there. So like for myself, content wise, because that's kind of my job, I got to make it so that we can make a video about going over there. And one of our better videos was when we went to a UK truck show and we just checked out how trucks are made over there. So I think for content wise, going over there to visit some Australian truck shows.
If no one's going with you, Theron, I volunteer. If no one's volunteering and they're busy, take me.
We'll put it on there. So we're sussing up which truck shows to go to, and which are the bigger ones. There's one in Sydney, but there's a few really big ones there. So we'd like to go check out how they're doing things, maybe learn a bit, and meet some of our fans and investors over there. So it's a possibility. It's not set in stone now.
Yeah, the big industry one is the Brisbane Truck Show. I'm not sure if it's on next year or the year after because it's only once every second year, I believe. But yeah, when you're looking at like stuff like truck tech and industry standards and stuff like that, that's the one to go to.
It's every second year. Yeah, I looked into that, and that's what it said. All the research I did, that was the one. So, but I think it's not next year. It's the year after that.
Yeah. My battery's getting very low now. So yeah, if we can
let's wrap it up. You probably lost about 5 pounds sitting in your freaking car, sweating your butt off.
Bryan, you can head off here, Theron. I had a couple of questions for you if you want to stay back, or do you want to end it too?
Yeah, no, we can go. Bryan, when you end, make sure that you leave your phone kind of running if you can, so until it says that your audio has been backed up.
Yeah, so you can just log up and make sure you don't exit out.
No worries.
Perfect. Thanks, Bryan. Thanks for coming on.
All right, well done. What's up?
Okay.
Oh, still there? Bryan, still there?
Is he there? The audio's so much better. Fuck, the audio guys that have so much work cleaning.
He's gonna hate you for that.
Hopefully
Sorry for our listeners.
Recovered.
Audio wasn't great. Love you, Bryan. So I was just gonna talk about that video released members only right now, but it will come out. When is that released to public?
Oh, it's out now. Like today's
only.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was members only yesterday. I think it came out at 3:00 this afternoon.
Oh, okay. Anyways, loved it. Great video. A lot of heartwarming stuff with the cabins and everything. I'm sure your wife is very happy. So.
Yeah, she hates
that was a while ago, though. I guess really that footage, wasn't it?
Maybe like 3 weeks with some of the older stuff. But she hates being on camera, so she was a little annoyed that I made her do that. But I think she did, and she's like, she just kind of learned how to speak English. Like since we basically got together, like she barely spoke in English, so she's always self-conscious about that. But I think she did well, and it was nice showing Chase's mom and how that they've sold their house and they're.
I still can't believe they moved out there. Like that's crazy. Like good for them. That's awesome. But
no, they kind of have to like make sure Chase survives because Chase doesn't eat. Yeah, he doesn't cook, and she makes all his food. So like,
where's Chase's sister living at now? Like, is she in the area?
Well, yeah, we're not. I don't really know. I believe she was moving from. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. So YouTube. That video, great, loved it. The ground fault part of it, I was really loving that. What's Yale?
Yeah, he did really good.
He did really good because that was like he was doing his own filming and all that for that video, right?
I love Yale for that. They're like there's a couple people that work here that are just like, yeah, man, I'll take the camera, and a lot of people are like, fuck no, like maybe they don't even want to be on camera. But like we have, when you come on as an employee, you sign. You will take part in video. Like it's not like that's not my job description. Is like actually it fucking is.
It is in the job description.
But Yale, he just picks it up and he did really well. And I think for like how it was, I think it was like maybe 7 minutes or 8 minute section of just him doing that.
Yeah, and that was a good chunk of it. And he did really good.
It's hard to keep people's attention that long. But when I watched it, I was like, oh shit, because I wasn't there for it, and I was actually really interested. So. He did good.
No, it was really, really interesting to see someone just comment the troubleshooting process was really interesting. I was loving that because, again, we're transparent. We're trying to show everything like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. And the process of how he talked about and the process of how Edison is, love it. Like, hey, this happened. This is a problem. Why is it a problem? Let's fix it. Let's move forward. Like instead of trying to hide these things or, oh, it doesn't happen to us. Like this truck is in development. It's one of our first trucks to customer. Like it's a process. So seeing how it's handled it was really awesome. I was really impressed with him on that. So.
And the one thing I would say from that video that wasn't put into the video is although we found the fault, we didn't show why or how it was corrected. And I believe that we've changed our connectors there. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not at a place to say because so it's not for sure, but I think maybe the connector was loose when they filled it up with coolant is what happened there.
Okay, so that's why I didn't have the proper seal.
Yeah, I think like that wasn't me. I'm pretty sure I just heard that, but like that would be a big problem if like obviously our connectors are gonna get fluid in them when they're not supposed to. They're IP or whatever rated connectors.
Yeah, he was explaining that in the video, which he did a great job explaining. Like he was really hammering those things home. And yeah, that's probably exactly what happened. But hey, it's something to look into. Did this happen by accident while we were setting it up? Or could this possibly happen? Just something for us to check and look into and make sure it doesn't happen again. Like so no, really impressed. I loved the coolant taste test part. I wrote that down. I got little paper notes too. But when he said we tested the liquid taste test and then kept talking, I was like, did he mean to say that? Right? Like taste tested? I don't know if we're allowed to say that, but that was hilarious. Like I got an out loud laugh from that one. So really impressed with him on that. But
I did too. Sorry, I'm getting shit from my wife here.
No, you can
we got a new puppy and he's pretty cool. He was supposed to be 50% Great Pyrenees, 50% Burmese Mountain Dog. But then I guess the neighbor's dog jumped the fence and they could tell some of the puppies look different. And so they got him DNA tested. Dogs can have two fathers and the puppies are split. So you could have a breed that is like one mix and a breed that is a different mix. So we got him. He's 90% Great Pyrenees, 7% Akita, and the rest is Alaskan Malamute. So he's going to be huge, but he's fucking not food motivated and doesn't listen more shit. So I'm like, we can't. And usually with our old dog, we just keep a full bowl of food on the floor and they just eat as they will. But he like isn't food motivated, so you can't train him with food because he's like, I'm fucking full. I'm not eating doing anything you say. So I took some of his food away, and I'd be just feeding him a few times a day. My wife has given me shit here. She's like, puppies need to eat all the time, and
make him food motivated. Do that. Oh, there's a comment there. Chase's rant is going viral too. Mike Maxwell said that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was I wanted to talk about with Chase, but Chase, obviously, you guys noticed he was not his self today. He was a little under the weather and jet lag. But I would like to do another video in the future of just talking about that rant because that thing did go viral because it hit the heart of so many people. Like, it's such a real thing that people are so tired of, and we're just seeing it constantly. That like all these companies are just getting worse and worse and worse. And like. Example, the other day, my girlfriend's SUV, she didn't have a block heater plug-in, and you have to get the Chevy block heater plug-in. Like, it's its own separate thing. You can't just plug your vehicle in anymore. So she's out there, you know, college student, doesn't have a ton of money, university student, doesn't have a ton of money. So she's like worried about buying a cord for her car because it's like $130 for a little extension cord because it's a special connector because it needs to be better. No, it's just a plug-in.
You're just selling fucking cords.
You're just selling cords. You're ripping people off. You're ripping people off because you're pieces of shit. Like, that's all it is. They're bad people that run these companies. Like, it makes me so mad. And Chase is so tired of that. Edison's so tired of seeing companies act like that where we're like, nope, we're not doing any of that nonsense.
It's good. That video's got, I just checked, it's got 720,000 views in 7 days. So it's pretty close to surpassing our most viewed video. And it was also, we filmed it, edited it, and basically had the sound done, ready to post in a day. Like, and it was one take.
No way. He just put a nickel in that guy. Jeez.
We have spent 3-4 weeks editing a video, like spent so much money on editing and filming and all this, and the video did crappy. This one, boom, 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 the fucking best one yet. It's funny how that works, but I do somewhat know why it works. It's because like our followers, like we obviously are for right to repair, planned obsolescence, and very much of that video was about that. So our core audience, make it this circle, all resonated it, and they watched it. You guys watching this podcast, that you resonate with that. So and that's how YouTube does it. It sees how your audience views a video, and if they like it, your video gets pushed farther. So then because we liked it, you guys liked it, it got pushed. What's going on here? And then, but the circle got pushed to after relate to it as well. So it's not people that are into EVs or trucks. It's not pigeonholed to that niche. It goes to people, like it's a common problem with many aspects.
Everyone,
whether it's electronics, your phone, like appliances.
Phone's another one. I know he brought up like the phones and iPhones and stuff. Like, back to the girlfriend, keep talking about her, I guess. But I used her phone the other day, and it's still like the old, like it's like a 13 or a 12. It's so slow. It's so much slower than mine. And I'm like, it was once so fast, but iPhone slows them down after a while. Like, they got sued for that in the past. And you think they stopped? No, they didn't stop. They just wrote in all their stuff now that you agree to that, hey, we're going to start doing this. And you're not going to read through that 20 pages of everything.
Yeah, and I don't know this is for certain, but like throughout my short period of filming and making videos, like I used to use GoPros, and my GoPro 10 is junk. That thing overheats, it freezes all the time, and it used to be really good. And I don't believe it's just because I use it so much. I believe it
freezes.
It fucking sucks. Like,
that's crazy because like my first GoPro when I was like 16, I could go down the mountain and have that thing on my head for an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's not freezing. It was fine. Like, that's crazy. Like,
and then even my 10 was the worst. We've completely removed from GoPro. We don't use GoPros anymore.
That's a change. I always used to see you going around with a GoPro on a stick.
Well, I use DJI action cameras now.
Okay.
DJI has surpassed GoPro big time.
Shrek's comment there, Jordan, I have an extra GMC cord if you need one. I appreciate you guys, fans. Awesome. Great people. It was more of the principle of the matter. Like, you sons of, like, why do they do that?
Our Vegemite friend says it's great to see Rich doing the pickup side of things also, which is a little off topic, but I agree. Rich is fantastic. Rich is the perfect guy for the job. like his whole thing is putting things into things that don't go there.
If you guys didn't watch the podcast with Rich, we did one a few weeks back, so go look for that one. Check that out and leave a comment and a like. That was a great one. I had a great time with him too.
Rich's temperament's fantastic. He's such a cool guy. He's even cooler in person. I love hanging out with Rich. He leaves you with a smile on his face. Like he's kind of like Eric, whereas like it takes a lot to get Eric worked up. Like Eric's mad when he's like, I'm not very happy right now.
Yeah,
like,
they'll say that. Yeah,
like Eric is furious.
That guy's so mad. We gotta leave.
Yeah, and Rich is very much like that too. Although I have seen Rich get a little heated, but it takes a lot. That guy, he's got the best temperament.
He's definitely one of the guys too that like you meet some of these people like through this. We've met a lot of people. You more than me, but like you see them online, see their TikToks, then you meet them in person, and it's like, okay, they're okay. Rich is wondering like, that guy's a beauty. Like,
yeah, he's like family now. Yeah, Rich or Mike Maxwell says Rich uses cardboard CNC.
That's still crazy. I like sort of terrible. I'm not following enough. I didn't know he built that axle. Like I didn't know that. I was like, that's so impressive.
Yeah.
Like,
it was. That's what I mean. He just takes a thing, sees a problem. How do I fix it? How do I make it work?
Well, even like you guys were kind of like, we don't got the time. There's no way we're fitting that in there. It's just like, hey guys, give me a few months. So.
Yeah.
Very impressed. That's about all I had. I want to talk about the video. I do want to talk about Chase's rant video eventually, but we can do a whole nother one with Chase.
When he feels better, let's do it. Chase was out of the country for a couple of weeks here, so we weren't able to podcast. But now that we're back, and it's wintertime, and we don't want to be outside, we have more reason to be inside. And
more reason to talk. Today's a perfect day for it. I don't know why. When I finished up, I put my ice shack out today. I finished up moving grain, and I was like, okay, I got to go start the hoe and move some gravel. And I was like, no, I'm not turning a key on that stuff today.
Yeah, you said it was minus 40. That's insane.
It was minus 40 this morning. It's only like minus 35, 34. Like it got a little better, but it was so crazy though. Like I sent there in a picture of my beard froze, and it was so funny. The wind chill is what gets you to minus 40. Like it's only minus 27, 26, but the wind chill puts you to the minus 40. And so I was sweeping out our Super Bee trailer because we deal with organic. So if you go from a barley crop to organic crop, you can't have any other seeds in there. So we sweep it out. So I was in the wind, beard's right frozen, get in the trailer, sweep out the trailer, beard melts off, stick my head up above the trailer, get out, frost right again. It's like, get out of the wind chill, and it wasn't horrible, but that wind chill just to the bone instantly. So
you had that icicle mustache beard going on.
It's colder tomorrow. So
that's awful. You obviously have your pickup plugged in.
I'm scared my pickup won't start. It should. It's just a gasser, but when it's minus 45 plus, it's bad. But I have a gun show to go tomorrow, so I gotta get the truck going. Gotta go to the gun show.
I think there's a gun show that Jared at Edison's going to too. He was just telling me about it, or it's an auction or something like that. We had here. Mike Maxwell wants to know if Golden gets a ton of snow. We do get quite a bit of snow. I believe it's 2.5 meters a winter. So we must have close to a foot out there right now.
Somebody was commenting on it. It was worse at one point. This was just when I hopped in the truck early in the morning, but yeah, she was a chilly one. So.
Wiley says, I bet the hot dog roller is going to get a workout because everyone's been away. It hasn't been used lately, but I got a deer off the test track here last month. I gave it to the butcher. I was like, I don't care when I get it back, and I don't. And he also has another job and some stuff happened. But I'm supposed to get it tomorrow. And I got
you gonna hot dog roll the deer?
I got Smokies made up.
Oh, nice. Did you mix them or straight venison?
No, they raise Wagyu beef on his ranch. So
you're gonna do deer and Wagyu? You psychopath. Wagyu. That's crazy. What the hell? Darren, I don't know if I support that decision, man. I thought you were gonna throw some pork in there. Like, what the hell?
Man, it's just the fat. It'll be good.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
That's awesome. We got a new master's graduate. What's this? We got a new member graduated with a master's in aerospace engineering. Oh, what? That's weird. We didn't get a new member. He's been a member for 13 months. And it was a highlighted comment. I'm confused why that was highlighted. Well, that's pretty badass.
I thought over a year it highlights members, doesn't it?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Well,
Gideon had one earlier that they highlighted, which appreciate Gideon. He wanted me to shout him out today because he was supposed to hang out with his old lady and drink, and he skipped that for a little bit to come watch. So
I'm surprised our comment section was just getting blown up by Gideon.
I think he left after a bit to go drink with his old lady. So.
Chaz says he's moving to Golden. It is pretty nice here, man. It's beautiful, and it's like you got to be in the outdoors. It's all outdoor stuff to do. I really enjoy it here. Small town vibe.
Yeah, pretty cool. Golden is beautiful. I like the snow is a crazy one for me though, because man, you guys got a lot of snow. Like we'll do, like you said, 2.5 meters. Like we'll do in a bad year, we'll get like 4 or 5 feet, like in a really bad year. But for the most years, it's 3 feet here, so it's not too bad. But
yeah, and like just from town, like I can look at my office here. And I'm looking at the ski hill.
I know that's crazy.
I didn't get a pass this year.
I was a little sad. I have a bachelor party. Shout out to Matt Quall, buddy of mine, but he's getting married next summer, and they were talking about going. Is it what's the hill beside you guys? Kicking Horse.
Oh, we're at Kicking Horse. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like, "Oh, should we go to Kicking Horse?" I'm like, "Yeah." I didn't want to go too crazy, but yeah, we have to. I was like, "Yeah, let's go to Kicking Horse." And they ended up wanting to go to not Sunshine, south of you guys, near the border. What's the hill?
Roseland.
Maybe whatever hill it is. Anyways, it was just like, oh shoot, I was hoping to go to Kicking Horse. We could have some beers with you guys, but
what is that hill?
It's killing me. I feel like a dummy for not knowing.
Yeah, my ex lived there.
Oh, I also wasn't supposed to say that. Actually, I think it's supposed to be a surprise. Well, he doesn't.
Oh boy,
live podcast. Cut it.
Here we were actually just talking about this today, Wiley. When the undisclosed truck gets released, we will get it. We'll get a diecast version. At first, it was a no.
And now diecast flew off the shelf. So
yeah, even after that, it was still a no because like some of us aren't huge fans of that look, and the
customers are.
Yeah, that's what I said, and like we sold out that last diecast in 6 days, and there's still people emailing and messaging us every fucking day. My wife and I get emails, and we're like, sorry, we don't have any. They're like, when are you getting more? I'm like, well, we weren't going to get more. It was a
single run thing.
So now we talked about it. I'm like, Chase, like, why don't we just get more? The tooling's already paid for, and like it'd be easier. Like before, I took like we were working on those for about a year to get them here, and but now we can get them here faster. I'm like, let's just do a different color, right? Let's do an Edison blue one or something. Yeah, I think we should do that. I want one, but there's a ton of people reaching out for the undisclosed too. So
I'm telling like you guys, I know the old boy, the Chase, that's not the look they love, but that thing's selling out. Like it's a different truck. It's a different animal. Like guys want that.
And we were talking about the MCon snowplow. I'm like, but I guess there's like the complexity of it. And there's so many moving small little parts that it would be potentially quite fragile and also very difficult to make. So I don't know that we're going to get a snowplow. I'm pretty sure we are not.
There's a lot to that too. Same with never mind.
Okay, Jordan.
That wasn't a bad one. There has been worse.
Not you. That was good. We're at an hour and 42 minutes.
Yeah, we got to close this off.
I'm going to see my family. Okay, if I can get back. The highway's closed both directions right now.
You'll live.
I'll get through it. I just said I live in Donald. I'm not going across Rogers.
Anyways, thanks, guys.
Hey,
see ya.
Yeah, bye, guys. And stream.